Good morning, everyone. My name is Manoj Panchal. I am working as an assistant professor in RGM College of Engineering and Technology. So, in this series of lectures, we are going to see the subject industrial automation and robotics. So, let us begin with the content of this course. The first unit, that is Introduction to Automations. The content is the automation, the need of automations, different kind of automations, the level of automation, elements of automated system, computer process control, the types of computer process control, the sensor, the actuators, input output devices for discrete data, and finally the overview of the material handling system. Before we begin on the discussion on the topic of the automation, let us understand what is an industry. So, an industry is process the unfinished or raw product and converts into final product. In process of converting into final product, the objective is to earn the profit. The profit is controlled by the manufacturing cost and the cost of the raw material. The cost of raw material is affected by these parameters. These parameters are the materials, energy, manpower, and the infrastructure. Now let us start the discussion on the automation. Automation is simple meaning is anything which can be done without human effort. That is automatic, right? Simple. So we have the fan, just switch on the button, you got the air, right? So that is automation. Earlier times what we used to do is with the hand you move some kind of uh, thing, with that you get the air or natural air. That is the only option. But as science advanced into a new era of advancement, we came into new era of advancement. Then with the advancement, new techniques came. So now we have different techniques for human comfort, right? So that is one aspect of automation. You can reach one place to other place without much effort. The bikes, the cars, everything is automatic, right? Automation means the process or procedure or the operations which can be accomplished without human effort is called automation. Automation had different elements, so that we are going to see in the subsequent slides. But before that, we are going to see our objective is to learn the automation in the area of how it is useful in the area of the industries. So first, let us understand the industrial perspective of the automation. So according to a publication, that is Fortune Business Insight, the industrial automation market that was of $157 billion in 2018 is going to reach around $300 billion, which is as twice as this 2018 data. So you can see the growth that automation industry is having. So for any engineer to understand the basic aspect of the automation, it is very necessary to understand the basics of the automation and robotics. Right? Then let us see the need of the automations. Why we are implementing the automations? What is the need of automation in any kind of industry, right? Or for any place for that matter, right? So automations, there are certain parameters that are going to define how automation is needed. So let us understand these parameters one by one. Let us start with the productivity. So automations, if we implement the automations, the productivity enhances. Before, how it is going to enhance the automation, the how it is going to enhance the productivity, the automation. Let us understand what is productivity. So productivity is nothing but the efficiency, right? The general terms, it is efficiency, that is the output divided by input. So let us understand with the example. Suppose you have the lathe machine, conventional lathe machine, doing the turning operations. You are doing the turning operations on a piece of the material or a part, right? So within some given period of time, in for example, let us consider one shift of the industrial operation. So that is going to be 8 hours. In that 8 hours, if you are using the conventional lathe machining, the one operator has to be there, one skilled operator that is going to operate the machine. Suppose if you are able to do the turning operation on 100 number of parts, so if you find out your productivity in 100 number of parts, how much time is consumed? If you compare with the CNC uh, lathe machine, it is going to produce much more parts, many parts. It may be 500 parts, which is going to produce in the same amount of time. So what happens is the time, it is going to reduce the time. So your productivity is enhances. So in industrial aspect, time is money. So in how much time, how many products you are going to produce. So there is your money, right? If you are able to produce 500 number of products in one shift with automations, there your productivity enhances. Second aspect is quality. If you are using the machine in place of humans, so obviously quality is going to enhance, because machines are more accurate compared to human, because human can do the mistakes with number of parts. Maybe one part is better, the next part may not be because of some distraction or because of some human errors. So that is obvious. That is the case with the humans. While the machines are going to produce the same quality of part, as many parts as you require, with same precision and same accuracy. So that is the good thing with the automation. So there you require the automation. The flexibility, you can uh, produce the variety of parts with the automation, right? If you have the machines, automatic machines, for example, CNC machine. So what you need to do is, for do the variety of operations, just you need to change the program. No need to learn the operations, how you perform the operations. No need to acquire the skill. Just the programming skill is required to change the program. That is the need that is needed in the CNC machine. While the conventional machining, the skilled operator, the operator has to acquire the separate skill to perform the different kind of operations or to produce a variety of parts. Here variety is easily produced with flexibility. So here that is the benefit of the automations, or you can say the need of automations. The safety, the wherever there is a hazardous environment, or there is a chance of the hazardous health deterioration in chemical industry or some other kind of industry or nuclear power plant, there you can use the robots or some automatic machinery that can perform the human work instead of human. So that is one of the need of the automation. Then the cost reduction, it is obvious that it is going to reduce the cost, because in lesser time you are going to produce the better quality parts in lesser time. Then the increased added value. So because of the better quality, they are increase the added value to the part. The working condition will be improved, and it is going to reduce the manufacturing lead time. Manufacturing lead time is the time between the production of the your part and the order of the part. So you have in lesser time you can going to produce the more number of parts. So that is going to affect the manufacturing lead time. So these are the parameters. That is why the automation is needed nowadays in the industries. Now let us understand the different types of automation. The first one is the fixed automation. The fixed automation, it is used for high volume production. So to understand this automation, fixed kind of automations, let us consider a example. So example of fixed automation is, the simplest example is conveyor belt. Work of the conveyor belt is to carry the parts from one location to the other location, or you might say from one workstation to other workstations, or the paint shops, or the transfer lines, right? These are the examples of the fixed automation. So the features that defines the fixed automations are the high initial investment for the custom engineered equipment. So depending on your infrastructure or your part requirement, you have to design the custom made the your equipment for fixed automations. That might be conveyor belt, that might be some other system, right? So the next thing is, they are used for the high production rate, and they are going to do a certain fixed task. They are not able to change the task. They are going to perform the same task again and again. For example, conveyor belt, their task is to convey the or to transfer the material from one location to other location, or you might say one workstation to other workstation. So the next point is inflexibility of the equipment to accommodate product variety. So that I wanted to say that you can't have the product variety. So the same task you are going to do again and again with the fixed automations, but you have the benefit of the high volume production. High volume production is the example of the fixed automations. You have the conveyor belt. There is a number of keys they are transferring on the conveyor belt. Right? Then you have the programmable automation. The next type is programmable automation. In programmable automation, the production equipment are designed with the capability to change the sequence of operations to accommodate the different product configuration. So let us understand what is a programmable automation with the example. So the example of the programmable automations are a CNC machine, a numerical control machine tool, or other examples may be an industrial robot. So let us take an example of numerical control machine. So you want to fabricate the variety of parts. That the flexibility, the term flexibility here defines this, that you can have the variety of parts, right? With different product configurations. Product configuration is, you can have different part geometry or different configurations of a part, right? So you have number of operations. So for let us take a one product that has number of operations that includes the turning, the milling. After that, the next one might be the chamfering. The next part, it might have the milling, then turning, and the chamfering. So the sequence of operations are changed. So product configuration is changed. That is why the sequence of operation changes. So here in programmable automations, the only thing you have to do is just change the program, and you can get the different set of operations. Right? You can do the different set of operations on different part. So the variety, you have the variety, so number of products with the variety you can produce. However, the production rate is going to reduced. So that is the one of the feature of the programmable automation. This kind of automation is suitable for batch production. Batch production is you produce the part batch by batch. Batch means batch is nothing but a bundle of, you can see a bundle of parts, number of parts. You have batch of 1,000 parts. So 1,000 parts of one kind, 1,000 part of other kind, 1,000 part of the batch A, B, C. You can divide into batch A, B, C. So batch A has 1,000 parts, batch B has 1,000 parts, batch C has 1,000 parts. So you are going to produce the parts batch by batch. So it is highly suitable for the batch production. The third kind of the automation is flexible automations. It is just the extension of programmable automations. So uh, when you combine two automated system, so let us take an example of a CNC machine with the automated material handling system. So you have the flexibility to produce the product design variation. So you have number of parts with the design variations. You have the flexibility to produce number of parts because you have the CNC machine. So just change the programming. There is no time lost between the change of the tools or the change of the programming. You can store the program in the system. You can change the program, just change the program, and you can have the different parts. And if you combine with the automated material handling system, so one part it is having the different kind of operations. You have the material handling system. One part came out of the after the whole processes. You got the finished product with the material handling system. You can store the part or you can get ready for the departure for the sales and marketing. So you can produce the number of parts of different varieties with the flexible automation. The features are high investment. That is obvious because it is highly automated. So the high investment for custom engineered system. The continuous production of the variable mixtures of the parts for product. So in flexible programmable automation, what we did is in features. The features is one of the feature is you are going to produce the parts batch by batch, but in the flexible automations you are able to produce the part one by one with a different product configuration or different product design. So that is the your benefit. So you can produce the variety of parts one by one. Just you produce the one part, then there is a different kind of part. You can just change the program. You have automatic materials handling system is going to separate that part, and you can just get ready for the final sales and marketing. However, the production rate is medium, and you have flexibility to deal with the product design variations. These are the features. Just quick summary on the types of automations. Three types of automations. You have flexible, programmable, and the fixed. Fixed is suited for the high volume production with consistent product design. So the production variety is the product variety is minimum. Programmable automation is suited for the variety of sequence of operations that occurs in the batches. So it is highly suitable for the batch production. The flexible automation is best suited for the various program sequences that cannot be executed in the batch. So you have 10 different kind of product that cannot be executed in the batch. Just you can go with the flexible automations. When we compare the different kind of automations, we have two parameters to compare the automations of different kind. You have the production quantity. Let us take the production quantity on the x-axis and the product variety on the y-axis. If you place the product, if you draw a graph between these two, the fixed automation, as we talked about, it has high volume production. So it is in lakhs or crores. Then you have the flexible automations with medium volume production and medium product variety. The programmable automation has a huge product variety, however, the production quantity is lesser. Now we are going to see a principle called USA principle for the automation. So it is just nothing but you can call it the intuition. Just it is defined by someone so that they called it the process. However, it is a just intuition. Suppose you want to do automation in your industry. What is common sense approach is first you have to understand the whole process how we are going to fabricate the part with conventional machining. What are the operations are there to perform the to get the final product? What is the sequence of operations? How much time one operation is taking? So these parameters you have to find out. After understanding the whole process of the production, you need to simplify the process. You need to uh, devise a method or find out a method so that your sequence of operations are ease. There is an ease of operations. So you can do operations with minimal effort. Then after simplifying the process, there is the automation. So just after you find out the existing process number of operations or the sequence of operations or the time required, then you simplify the process and then just go for the automation. This simple principle. The USA stands for the understand the existing process, simplify the process, automate the process. So there are three things you have to do or you have to understand before going for the automation. Now let us understand the level of automation. So there are 5 level of automations. Begin with the device level, the smallest level, then go up to the enterprise level, the highest level. So let us understand each one with the example. So first one is device level. So device level, you have the different kind of sensor, actuator, and other hardware element that you are going to use for the smallest device. That is called the device level automation. The example is the feedback control for the one axis of the CNC machine, or for example, control of the movement of the one joint of the industrial robot. So just you are controlling the you are doing the automation at the smallest level, or you can call it the device level. The next level, we can call it the machine level. Here, what we are doing is we are doing the automation at the machine level. Means for individual machine, you have got the automation. So a industrial robot or the automated guided vehicle that are used in the what do you call it, the material handling system to move the package of the materials from one location to the other location. That is called AGV or automated guided vehicles. These are called the individual machines. So these machines directly you can use the automatic machines, the conveyors, the industrial robots, the CNC machines. So the whole machine is automatic. So that is machine level. Or the next one is the system level or the cell level. The system level, you have a number of machines that are connected to the central machines. So you have automations for the group of machines. So example is material handling system. In material handling system is that we are going to see in the subsequent lectures. So a material handling system is nothing but a system that does number of tasks that comprises of the that begin with the packaging of the material, then the labeling of the material, that includes the storage of the material, the transportation of the material. So these are the tasks that comprise that defines the material handling system. So for doing this task, you need dedicated humans or dedicated workers, employees to do different set of tasks. However, if you employ the robots or the machines to do the task, that is called the uh, automated material handling system. So that includes the robots, number of robots, pick and place robots that are going to pick the your part from one. Look at, for example, the part are traveling on the conveyor belt, so they are moving from the one workstation to other workstations. So the robots are, are going to pick the part from the your conveyor belt, and they are going to place in the your packaging, the boxes. Then your box going to be placed on the pellets, the pelletizer. Then this the number of boxes are uh, going to move from one location to the other location with the AGV, or you can call it automated guided vehicle. So these number of machines you are using to do these kind of operations. So that all number of machines, the group of machines, these kind of group of machines are comes under the material handling system. So if you are using the automated material handling system, that automation is called as the system level automations. Then the plant level automations. So see, we are going with the level by level, layer by layer. So first we have seen the device level, then machine level, then the system level, then we are going to increasing the level. So there we are to the plant level. So plant level, what you are doing is the, so you have one company, suppose a car company, suppose a Honda. So you have one plant in the Chennai, one plant in the Bangalore, one plant in the Mumbai, one plant in Delhi, one plant in the Pune, right? So you have number of plants. The head office in the Delhi, number of plants are there. So if you are doing the automation of some system at the one plant, that is called plant level automation. Let us understand with the example. So you are doing the, you are placing the order with automated system. You have the systems and some kind of system to place the order, you do the process planning, how we are going to perform the operations. So you do the inventory control planning, you do the purchasing of the raw material or the uh, other kind of material, the material requirement planning, to show to control of the shop floor operations, quality control. So these are the operations that can be done with the automated system. So the automation of these operations are called plant level automations. Then you have the highest level of automation, that is called enterprise level automation. What we do in enterprise level automation is, it is automation at the whole enterprise level. So the automations at the level of the enterprise, the decisions which are taken at the enterprise levels are the marketing and sales decision, the accounting, the design changes, the research decision, the aggregate planning, or the master production scheduling. So these operations can be done with a program called system or the software called enterprise resource planning. So if we implement the software for the enterprise level, so we are doing the enterprise level automation. So that comes under the automation at the enterprise level. So let us stop here. So what we have seen till now is we, we, we started with the types of automation. We began with the definition of industry. Then we talked about the we talked about the automation. the industrial perspective of the automations, then the need of automations, then we talked about the different kind of automations, the example of different kind of automations, then we have seen the summary, just quick review of the different kind of automations, comparison of different kind of automations, the USA principle, and we have seen the level of automations. So for now, we are going to stop here. So let us see the next topic in the next class. For that time being, thank you. Thanks to all.